Hello everyone, this is City Council Rewind for the meetings on February 20th, Tuesday, February 20th. I'm Aaron McCulloch, Director of Communications, and with me is Councilor Johnny Parks. Councilor Parks, thank you for being with us.
Good to be here. Good to be here.
We've got, it was a quick meeting last night, one of the quicker ones that I've experienced in my 2.5 years.
But it was full.
But it was full, and there was a lot of good information out there. And so we picked three things that we want to talk about from that meeting last night. And the first one let's talk about is the hiring of this consultant group, Jacobs. They are going to help us with some cost estimates in anticipation of the 2026 general obligation bond. What's the reason for this? Why did you agree to this contract?
This was actually the first big step in our 2026 bond issue, the bond issue coming up. And this is an engineering company. Jacobs Engineering was the one that was selected. They felt like our staff, the selection committee felt like that Jacobson had the most experience, the most background working in the parks area. We expect a lot in the parks area, working with the nonprofits, buildings. They had experience in all the areas that we'll need.
Public safety even?
Public safety, exactly. They had all the background information. And what they will do is they will guide us up to actually the election, from my understanding. I think that's good, and that you have to know that with our city manager, Michael Spurgeon, has always pushed for, and I really like that getting the citizens involved in so much of this. We still have that survey out, and that survey can be filled out until the end of the month. I believe that last night he said that we had 3,000 people had gone in and filled out the survey. That's what we need, because we're going to probably end up with $100 million more than what we can afford. So we need to know what the citizens want and prioritize that.
And this survey, the feedback that we get from the citizens is going to go towards the whole project selection process for the bond, and that's where Jacobs is going to come in, and because the projects haven't been selected yet.
No,
is that correct?
That's correct.
And so it's my understanding that they're going to come in and they're going to help us with some cost estimates and some programming and that sort of thing. Because if I remember correctly from last night, Charlie Bright, who's in our engineering and construction department, said that wish list, he can envision it being close to $1 billion, which was kind of one of those blow your hair back type moments. So they're going to help us with a lot of those cost estimates, get it in line, and then go back to the folks with it.
I think we'll be able to narrow it down a little bit more than that.
I hope
Charlie's
so.
just been excited about it, what to cut out. But we know that we're not going to put anything in there that's going to push us even close to going over for raising taxes, because there'll not be any new taxes as far as any of our ad valorem taxes won't be raised in this bond issue. So we have to select those things, that number amount, to keep us within that guidelines.
Let's move on to the next one, and this was the amendment to the Disturbing the Peace ordinance, more affectionately known as the noise ordinance. And this was specifically for Events Park, and it was amended to extend the hour just one more, extend the time to one more hour to 11 p.m. Monday through Friday. Thoughts on this? Why we did it?
Well, I know that why we did it and why we're talking about it is just to always be transparent in doing that. And we did it just to kind of help shut everything down, make everything, the continuity go along. It's 11 o'clock the rest of the nights, also. So we just pulled that out and extend that the 1 hour from 10 to 11 to try to accommodate the closing down of the amphitheater, in the evening time. And put that under the preview of everything, so it's all consistent through there. So we feel like, at least I feel like, that they're going to watch the noise, and we're going to watch it. I know we are closely, and I think we'll be well within the guidelines. That's not going to be bothering people, but those hours were extended from that Sunday through the week.
And just to provide folks with just a little bit of context, the consultants for Notes Live, who's the developer of the amphitheater, has said that it takes typically about 45 minutes to get people exiting out of venues for an amphitheater of this size. And so this extension to 11 p.m. will essentially allow for that time for those folks to be able to leave, and doesn't extend the time that the concerts will actually be going for in the evening.
Right.
Let's move on to, you're going to be headed to D.C. next month.
We are.
What is that all about?
Well, we're members of the National League of Cities, and They meet every spring in Washington, D.C., and it's an advocacy group that advocates for different items and everything, and meet with our congressmen. We go to the Capitol and meet with them. In our particular case, we're one of the few cities in the state. We take our senior youth city council with us. They're actually involved in their own entity there at the National League of Cities youth area, and I think that's great. It really helps them get interested in their senior year in government, helps them understand, and they work with other youth from all over the nation. I just had to throw that in with that. But anyway, our goal is to be advocates, and we will meet during the week, and then we will go to Capitol Hill, to the Capitol building, and meet with our representatives on different topics, public safety, on the infrastructure, intersections, which any federal help that we need on intersections. So anything that we feel like that would be beneficial for Broken Arrow, we take that to our congressman and ask them to advocate for that.
So you're basically going to take this list of priorities of ways to enhance the quality of life here in Broken Arrow for citizens?
That's correct.
Okay, fantastic. And this is something we've done in the past?
We've done it for the last 40 years I know of.
Get out. Really?
Yeah.
That's amazing. Well, thank you for doing that.
Well, for sure.
There were many other items on the agendas besides what we just talked about. For more about those items, go to the city website and click on Agendas and Minutes in the Government section. Click on the date range drop-down list and then select the governing body. Find the meeting date of your choice and select the meeting details. Councilor Parks, thank you so much for joining us today.
Appreciate being here.
And if I don't see you before that trip to DC, have a safe trip, and I hope you accomplish everything that you set out.
I think we will. We'll go to work at it.
That's it for this City Council Rewind. Check out the next meeting on March 5th, and then we'll be back with you on March 6th. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Thank you for watching. This is a production of the City of Broken Arrow, the city where opportunity lives.